Hi everyone, and welcome to another case in Ireland's Vanishing Triangle. So in this video we are going to be covering the case of Eva Brennan. So Eva was born on the 4th of August in 1953 in a little village called Rathgar in County Dublin in Ireland. She had 2 sisters and 4 brothers, and her family owned 2 pubs, and one was the Horse and Hound, which was in Cabinteely, and the other one was the 108, which was in Rathgar village. Eva's parents were David and Eileen Brennan. So in 1993, Eva was 39 years old, and she lived in an apartment on her own in Madison House, Terenure, County Dublin. She was very close to her family and would visit them every day for lunch. She also liked to go to church and took her religion very seriously. According to Eva's sister Colette, Eva was a bit predictable and very rarely went out. So when she hadn't turned up to her parents' house for lunch for 2 days, her family became suspicious. See, Eva had been around her family home on Sunday the 23rd of July, and by Tuesday her father decided to go around to her apartment to check on her. When he arrived, there was no answer at the door. He knocked several times, but he still heard no noise coming from inside the apartment. Feeling quite worried at this point, Davy decided to go and get the barman from the local pub, which was down the road, to help him break in through the window. Once inside, they noticed the jacket that Eva was wearing the previous Sunday, so they knew that she had to have been home since. But there was nothing else to indicate what had happened to her or where she had gone. So Davy called the local Garda station in Terenure to report her missing. But according to Colette, Eva's sister, the Gardaí said that because she was over 21, they don't believe that her disappearance was the result of a crime. Regardless, Davy went down to the Garda station the next day to give them a description of Eva. Weeks went past and the family heard nothing. They'd done everything they could to try and piece together what could have happened to Eva or where she could have possibly gone. But it was very unlike Eva to just disappear or take off without anybody knowing anything. Colette knew that Eva had struggled with mental health problems from time to time, but she did not believe that Eva would have taken her own life, especially because she was so close to her family and had such a strong religious interest. Colette believes that at the very least, Eva would have left a note. So Colette and another family member went to Eva's apartment to look for more clues and to tidy up. Obviously, they didn't want Eva to be coming home to a dirty, dusty apartment, but still they found nothing that could lead them to her whereabouts. The family had been watching the news to see if there had been any leads in her disappearance, because the guards wouldn't contact them themselves. The Brennan family had seen that only 3 months prior to Eva's disappearance, a young American girl called Annie McCarrick had also gone missing from the Dublin area. Colette's husband had noted the stark contrast between the 2 investigations. In the case of Annie McCarrick, her father was a retired American police officer, and he would have had rather influential connections. And as is still here in Ireland, it's a matter of who you know. After a few more months had passed and still no word, Davy decided to use his own connections. He was a long-standing member of the political party Fianna Fáil, and so used his connections to get in contact with the then Taoiseach Albert Reynolds. Davy was not the type of man to ask for help or favours, but he was desperate to find his daughter. After this, the family noticed a dramatic change. All of a sudden, there were 7 to 8 detectives in their home asking questions, and after a while doing a forensic search on Eva's apartment. Unfortunately, this was after Colette had been to Eva's apartment, and so the search didn't turn up any new leads. And a short time later, a new Taoiseach was selected, and so once again the Gardaí involvement dwindled to nothing. When the family would contact the local Gardaí to try and continue the investigation, it is theorised that because of Eva's struggle with depression and also the lack of evidence in the case, the Gardaí shrugged off the case as nothing investigation worthy. They said if it was suicide, a body would show up for them. or if she had run off, she would return to her family in a few years. Unfortunately, years would pass with no word from Eva. The family would watch local news stations, and any time a body was recovered, they themselves would have to contact the Garda station for identification, because the guards would not contact them. Eva's mother, Eileen, would sit in the kitchen every day for years, waiting for Eva to come home. And as a mother myself, I don't think you would ever give up hope or stop searching. Colette and her family drew up an action list of their experience in the hope of helping others in their situation. This action list says, don't be put off, know your own. Report the missing person. Check phone, bank statements and passports. Talk as a family. Use posters, TV, internet and newspapers. Be kind to yourself and ask the police to stay in contact. The family believe that somebody could have contacted her because Eva was not the type of person to go out at night. She was careful. Something happened. Sadly, Colette passed away in 2014 and her mother Eileen passed away in 2019 with no answers. So if you have any information at all on this case, please contact the number on the screen now on 01 66 66 400. So there's not much information on this case. There's absolutely no leads and no suspects that we know of. Unfortunately, like the other cases in Ireland's Vanishing Triangle, these are all unsolved and very little has been done. Hopefully now with Operation Trace and the new interest from the SCRT, we might get some answers and some closure for these families. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care, stay safe, bye.